Hi folks, this is Patrick Young with Whitetail Dreams Real Estate. Here today, we're in Dunbar, Wisconsin. This amazing property is located 30 minutes south of Iron Mountain. Iron Mountain has its own airport. You can literally fly in and spend a week, 2 days, 3 days, and fly back out. In about an hour and a half, maybe hour 40 minutes north of Green Bay. We have a gorgeous 440 acre property with 405 acres of 10-foot high fence. Three livable buildings. First building you see behind me, 3,500 square foot main cabin. Boasts 4 bedrooms and 4 full bathrooms, 3 levels. Next building off to the right of me is what we call the Hunter's Lodge. 5 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath. It's an old reclaimed barn moved to this specific spot and revamped inside and out. We have the Hunter's Cabin. That was the original cabin, 3 bedroom, 1 full bath. And last but not least, we have an outbuilding where all the implements, tractors, skid steers, snowmobiles are kept. This property also boasts 3 enclosed stands with unique open areas specific for food plots right in front of them. So you can come and hunt deer and be sitting over a food plot all day long and let them come to you. This is one of the 3 set blinds on this property. It's just south of the Hunter's Cabin with an amazing area to plant a huge food plot to draw those bucks of a lifetime out of the creek bottom, just on the other side. It goes from rock outcroppings and small ridges with pines and hardwoods in the northern section down to hardwood ridges, big hardwood ridges, and a small wetlands area in the southern section of this property. Completely groomed, widened trails you could actually drive a vehicle down. We're approximately located in the north central portion, just east of the Hunter's Cabin. In this area, we have the south branch of the Pemboan River that kind of flows through the property on down to the bigger river itself. This property is a recreational paradise. It's a virtual playground. You have enough to have your whole family here and extended family for snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, bird watching, turkey hunting, ATVs, UTVs. If you get sick of riding around on 440 acres, you can jump on your UTV, head out your door, and right onto the trails. Same thing with your snowmobile. So here we are in the northeastern corner of this property. Over the ridge there, the little hill, it flattens out into wetlands. And as you can see, it's the same type of vegetation and topography as we've experienced through the whole north central part of the property. Again, we're on a beautiful trail. This property's probably got around 10 miles of trails all around the fence and into the interior, and can be accessed 100% by UTV or ATV for your convenience to recover any game that you shoot on this property. As you can see here, sitting alongside of me are some of the examples that we found over the last couple of days we were walking this property of just what type of genetics are here. Seller enjoyed watching whitetail deer so much that he went out and bought trophy class genetics. We do not have any recent trail camera photos, reason being, seller enjoys watching the deer grow. So he mainly draws them in towards the main cabin and sits in his window and literally takes pictures of them off his regular camera. A variety of bucks, sizes, non-typical, typical, not to mention white deer. Genetically white deer, not albino deer, white deer with whitetail eyes, which is a gene he purposely put into this herd. In winter and times during the rut and times during antler growth mainly is when he has these feeding bins sprinkled throughout the property that he puts nutrients in to have good antler growth. Other than that, you can sit back, relax, and watch your deer herd grow. We're on the southeast corner of a 40 that is the furthest east on this property. And you can see all the ridges that continue through this property, the high ground, low grounds, excellent trails along the fence line here to get you around anywhere you want to go and into the interior of the property. We talk about the diversity on this property. We run from the rock outcroppings on the north section down through the rolling hills, and throughout this whole property there's nothing but deer sign, trails, rubs. There's so many rubs. We stopped taking pictures of rubs. Everywhere you turn, rub here, rub there. Found a few old scrapes, and I'm sure there's more. If we walk the perimeter and walk the interior a little bit more, we'd find a lot more sign. That's just sign that we found driving the trails and getting out and doing some of the walking we did. So here we are on the northeast corner of the furthest southern and western 40-acre parcel. You can see how the topography is completely different. No pine trees, hardwood ridges, park-like setting, rolling hills, little bowls and valleys, all the way through and around with the trail winding through it onto the western side of the property, coming back down into the homestead. You would think that on 440 acres, you would have an encounter somewhere. Now we heard some running away. Who says it's easy to hunt a high fence facility? Come out here and try it, and I'll guarantee you change your mind. And here we are on the southern line of this property. As you can see behind me, a huge ridge. That's still this property. A little more off to my right here is what is considered wetlands on this property. The trail doesn't go all the way through. They kind of stay off the wetlands to protect it, preserve it. And also on my left-hand side here, there's another ridge. We're kind of a little flat bowl area that contains the wetlands. And if you see up on top there, that's another trail running along the fence line. Can you imagine this in fall with all the beautiful colors out there? You can run this whole property and never get lost. And I don't just say that because there's a fence around it. I say that because the streets are actually named. If you know what street you're on, you can walk you right out of there. So we're here in about the approximate center of this property. Owner has meticulously taken care of them and even chosen to name them. As you can see, this is an intersection of 3 trails. Third Cut Trail, Old Bridge Road, and Doug's Way. So as long as you know the name of the trail you're on, you're never lost. Once you run this whole property, you'll find it's very unique. It has a lot of diversity in it, from the northern sections to the northeast, where it's more rocky, has rock outcroppings, and not as big of ridges. The little pockets and little valleys and little nooks and crannies where some of these sheds were actually found. Onto the center of the section, which gets a little more hilly, more like ridges, rolling oak and maple bluffs, open timber. And by the way, looking around at the timber on this property, I would suspect that there's probably some pretty good timber value here to supplement the sale. Not only that, this property is being sold as a turnkey property, meaning the seller just wants to grab his personal items and leave. So all the furnishings, the tractors, ATVs, snowmobiles, skid steers, implements. They're all going with the property included in the price. If you would like a private showing on this property, contact me at whitetaildreams.com. I would be glad to spend the day, because it's going to take a day, to show you this property.